Reads.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? We are back, and a lot has happened since we last saw you guys. Let's go through it. I mean, the Warriors were crowned NBA champions. LeBron and the Los Angeles Lakers missed the playoffs. Draymond Green started a pod and started a punch. We took some time off to retool, but we're back, and we would love to welcome you back to the No Hesi Hoopcast. I'm here with my boys, Black Moses and Leak. What's good, fellas? How y'all doing, man?
Finally, the boys have come back to No Hesi. What's going on?
Yes, sir. We back.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? I appreciate y'all checking in. We're back at it again. The season looks litty already, so man, I'm ready to dive in. But hoop season is back, y'all. Hoop season is back.
Absolutely, Leak, man. And we're gonna jump right in because we got a lot to cover on this week. So, fellas, let's talk recap of last year. The Warriors win the chip. Steph gets his fourth and his first MVP. So let's talk about it. Black, I'm gonna start with you, man. What do you think about the Warriors?
We're starting off right off the bat with a paradigm shift. Black Moses has to eat all the hate that he's doled out for Golden State and Stephen Curry pretty much for his whole career at this point, right, Lee? I gotta eat that live on No Hesi because
yeah.
because Steph had he proved something to me. He proved something to me. He proved that he could withstand the tests of the season. His body could withstand the test of the season.
Facts.
Without playing with a notable co-star. You know, KD left. Clay was hurt for most of the season last year. Draymond is Draymond, right? Yes, some players played up, but Steph pretty much put the team on his back, got them to the finals, beat a great team in Boston, and was rewarded with the MVP. So I have to put respect on Steph Curry's name. I will do that.
Leak, what you think, man? Are you accepting you accepting his apology?
I mean, yeah, he could come to his senses. I have no problem with that. You know what I mean? Steph did things that obviously I've known that he could do for this whole time since we started this No Hesi journey. I mean, we saw the emergence of a guy like Jordan Poole.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was the biggest story for the Warriors last year because they had a homegrown third option now, whereas before they had signed guys like Harrison Barnes, Andrew Wiggins, Kevin Durant, and also Jordan Poole's play is extremely provocative, right? Like the way he plays the game, the creativeness is extremely provocative. It's very very intimate. You know what I mean? Very he's essentially wearing short shorts. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty much his MO. But he's a really good player. They locked him down. But yeah, man, Stephen Curry with the Finals MVP. I thought it was well deserved. I thought he should have got that first one against the Cavs in 2014. 2014-15, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That was 14-15 or 15-16. I'm not sure, but the one where Iggy got it, that should have been Steph's to me.
Yeah.
But it was a good. Steph has continued to make a case for herself as the greatest point guard ever. A lot of people have aversions to that, but he's putting himself in the conversation and he's not done. So I thought it was a great win for the Dubs. And man, they're continuing their dominance. It's truly a dynasty.
Yeah, man. I agree with you, Lee. I think Steph crossed over from just outside the top 10 all time to, in most conversations, within the top 10. Now, you could put him where you want, but I think this, Black, you said it too, him winning without Durant, him proving that he could put the team on his back. I think we needed to see that to crown him, and really move him up the scale. So it was good, man. It was good to see the Dubs on top, and the league feels good when the Dubs are on top. We used to always say that about Lakers and Boston, but it feels kind of normal to see the Dubs at the number one spot for me. So, yeah, man. Any other thoughts on that? Any other thoughts on last year at all?
Man, I also want to say, Boston, for what it's worth. I mean, if it wasn't for the Dubs, Boston probably would be champions right now.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they just happen to go against a team that, has the most championship DNA that you could have. You know what I mean? But shout out to the Celtics for fighting hard, for sticking together. I mean, a couple seasons ago, we were talking about Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum possibly splitting up. So
yeah,
shout out to them. I'm sure we'll get into more of what happened with them post that, but I think they deserve some praise as well.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, Black. And so you kind of led into the next thing I want to get everyone's take on, and that's kind of the week 1 recap, as well as you can go as far back as you want into the summer, right? Leading up. You mentioned Boston and what they got going on. So I'm gonna start with you again, Black, on this one. What do you think about week 1 and what's going on in the league so far?
Well, first and foremost, just piggybacking off of what I was just saying, Udoka is now a verb. It's a verb now. You can Udoka someone. You know what I mean? No, but jokes aside, man, week one is starting off hot already, right? We got a lot of narratives. We got a lot of machinations happening right now. And I want to start off with my team, who I'm supporting right now, the Lakers. Starting off 0-2. Russell Westbrook still on the team. How do you guys feel about the way the Lakers are constructed right now, based on what you've seen first 2 games?
League, I'm gonna let you get loose on this one, man.
It's tough, man. It's like they're with the way the roster is set up, it seems like they're solely relying on Anthony Davis's health. If Anthony Davis is healthy, then there's breathing room to figure some things out. If Anthony Davis is not healthy, then everything's to poop. You know what I mean? So I feel like Russell Westbrook is spun. He's spun. I don't think he can play in LA anymore. I guess I'll be the first one to speak on him. Everybody's chomping at the bit to talk about Russ. Let's say he's spun. The guy's lost it. All right, the guy is cuckoo out there, and not all of it's his fault either. The fans, the organization, Rob Pelinka, LeBron James, Anthony Davis,
Clutch Sports.
All these guys have turned their back on this man. All of them turned their back on him, and they left Russ out for dry. They left him hanging, so to speak. So yeah, it's just a tough situation, and partly for good reason. You know what I mean? Partly for good reason, because the guy was out there stinking it up, and he's not the guy that Clutch thought LeBron could use to win another chip. He's not the guy that was going to feed AD the rock and keep him going all night. He's not the guy that could take pressure off LeBron. You know what I mean? He's not the guy that would make Rob Pelinka look like it's easy. He's not the guy that the fans can go ravenous for every night in their Staples Center. All right. So I feel like the roster is basic at best.
Yeah.
But you got LeBron James, who's almost 40 years old, and Anthony Davis, who will play less than 40 games. So
he's already hurt.
He's already hurt.
Anthony Davis went down against the Clippers.
He fell
over Kawhi Leonard's back.
He took a dive. You know what I mean? So I think the Lakers roster is pretty basic, though. What do you got, Mark?
Yeah, the roster is not giving, as the young people say. It's like you said, man. It's set up for AD to be healthy. If AD stays healthy, LeBron does what he does, I think they can get into the play-in and potentially 8th spot. Somewhere around there. If one of those guys misses significant games, it's over. It's over. So the question comes to mind: are they going to make a move? Are they going to deal Westbrook somewhere? They have to. The way you described the league is just toxic. It's a toxic relationship between Russell Westbrook and the Lakers, and so it's getting ugly. It's going to be a long season. LeBron just looks like a really great 40-year-old basketball player. He can't carry a team. He can't do that. We shouldn't be asking him to do that. He shouldn't have to at this point. And AD is a highly injured potential, top 10 player in the league, but the injuries just have derailed him. So it's just really ugly, man. I don't know what to make of it, but it's gonna be a long season. That's for sure.
And also every year, like it's hard for me to count out LeBron James every year. Every year I'm thinking like, all right, he's got a chance. All right, this is what the roster is. Okay, let's see what he can do. I'm never just saying, oh no, he's done at the start of the year. Oh no, he's not getting another ring. This year, I'm the closest I've ever been to saying he's not getting another ring. I'm the closest I've ever been to saying he's not going to compete in the finals. I'm the closest I've ever been to saying he can't carry a team to the championship. Like he's done it so many times before when we thought that he couldn't. So it's very hard to say that he's not going to do it this year. But I think I'm getting there. You know what I mean? Like I'm almost there. I'm almost there to know LeBron James can no longer carry an NBA team to the finals.
Yeah.
He's 30. He's about to be 38. He's about to be 38 years old. And that's no knock on Bron. I think Bron had one of his best seasons last year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not to say that Bron still isn't playing at a high level. But I just going off what both of you guys said, the team is not constructed around Bron well enough for them to compete for a finals. So, and this isn't that type of league anymore either, where there's one hero and a bunch of henchmen and they can somehow finesse their way to a championship. That's not happening no more. You need at least 3 guys.
Just for stats sake, LeBron is currently through 2 games, averaging 25 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists, while shooting 44% from the field. So, I mean, it's only 2 games in, but we've gotten accustomed to seeing LeBron play at an all-star, all-NBA level.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to change. The defense is going to drop off. The effort is going to drop off.
Mm-hmm.
The team chemistry, the leadership, all that's going to drop off. LeBron's still going to get. He's got Kareem to catch.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a Kareem to catch.
Last thought on the Lakers, guys, and then we can move on to some other first week topics. Lakers hire a new coach to, I guess, somehow galvanize the big 3, if you will. He's making grandiose claims like, Russell Westbrook will dig in on defense. Russell Westbrook will knock down the corner 3. Russell Westbrook will come off the bench? ? I say be on the lookout for Rob Pelinka losing his job this year. Rob Pelinka's job is on life support. Mark my words.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that, man. I think Darwin Ham, when you come in with the low baritone voice, you use words like he's a dog and all that. Like it feels like, man, he's gonna change the culture, right?
Right.
I don't see it happening, man, because you need players. So that's a Pelinka problem. Like you can't have a coach fix a roster problem,
right,
like that. That's your GM. So I think you're right. I think Pelinka's he's I don't know if he's going to last the entire season. Something's really got to change. He's got to make a big move. What you think, Lee?
Man, they definitely got to make a move, and that move does involve trading Russell Westbrook, in my opinion. That's just in my opinion. I think he's the piece that you move to basically steady out your roster. You know what I mean? Right now, your roster is so top heavy. It's like you got a busty roster. You got a linebacker built roster. You know what I mean? You got to find a way to bring that down a little bit, settle that out. I think you move Russell Westbrook, you can get a stretch 4 or 5, and you can get a wing shooter. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I think they got between LeBron, Kendrick Nunn, who else they got at the guard? Oh, Schroeder, who's hurt right now. They got Pat Bev. To me, they have the point guard handled. I think they need to get some 3
They
and
need
D
shooting,
in
man.
a stretch, something like that. But both whoever they get, they got to be able to shoot the ball. But even we don't know how much that's going to help them. Who's going to come and just out of nowhere just have elite chemistry with these guys and knock down,
Right.
43% of their shots, from beyond the arc? It's not going to happen. This thing is over. All right, it's over before it began. But yeah, I'm done with the
tough to
Lakers,
swallow. That's tough to
Yeah.
swallow.
All right, fellas. Well, let's move on to. We got to talk about the punch with Draymond Green. What did you guys think? Him and Jordan Poole got into it. We saw the tapes. The tapes were
Leak's
leaked.
not rocking with this one.
I love this. I know y'all got some. I need to know what y'all think about the punch.
Leak, I'll let you go first.
I thought it was ridiculous, man. To me, Draymond had it out for Jordan. He's been jealous of him for a while now. I think Draymond is also Draymond's the try to fit in kind of guy. I think his NBA skill set doesn't necessarily speak as an all-star player or all-NBA player. So Draymond has to find other ways to get ingratiated with these guys, these superstars, these all-NBA players. Hence why he signed the Clutch. Hence why you always catch him with LeBron James during the offseason. Hence why he's always trying to ride Steph's coattail. He got Steph on his podcast, and he's talking to these guys if they're equals as far as what they've accomplished, which is ridiculous to me. I think he's been jealous of Jordan, and I think he's jealous of Jordan's rise, Jordan's play style, which is something Draymond could never, right? You know what I mean? I think he's also jealous of Jordan's contract. He knew the contract was coming. That was the last straw. Once he knew he wasn't getting the contract and Jordan was getting the contract, I think that really put him on edge as well. And Draymond also had an interview before saying, he said something to the effect of, I'll tell you why I love Jordan so much, because he was trash talking with guys in training camp, and they were like, Draymond, get your guy, get Jordan, shut him up. And Draymond's like, I ain't gonna shut him up. If you can't handle it, you can't handle it. That's what Draymond said. Well, now we see Draymond couldn't handle it.
Right.
He couldn't handle the trash talk. He can't trash talk with Jordan Poole because he'll get so emotional that he wants to throw hands and jeopardize his career. So I think Draymond's jealous of Jordan. He's had it out for him. And Draymond is a clout monster. He is. That's why he's always trying to promote his relationship with LeBron James. You see him, going onto the court during play while he's not in the game to try to dap up and laugh with LeBron to show like I'm cool with him. We're the two cool kids at school, to show I'm affiliated with LeBron James, right? And you got Iguodala going like this on the sideline, as that happens, letting it be known that we know what you're about, Draymond. We figured you out. The cat's out the bag. Yeah. Draymond also did a documentary on punching Jordan Poole. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but he literally did a TNT documentary on punching. It's like a Draymond coping with punching Jordan Poole documentary. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what
elite
this guy's
camera
doing.
work.
Yes.
I mean,
Spike Lee level.
It looks like the Minimalist documentary. It looks like an award-winning film. You know what I mean? Like, it's investigative journalist at its finest, but it's about Draymond coping with socking this guy. Like, why does Draymond have to cope with socking him? You know what I mean? Like, why does he have to regain it? Why does he have to find his balance? Why does he have to regain who he is after punching Jordan Poole? You know what I mean? Like to me, Draymond is a clout monster, and he's been like that since they started winning championships. He realized that he can elevate his caliber of career by attaching himself to these cult-like figures. Steph, LeBron, Ja. Now he's trying to ride Ja's coattail. He's trying to pair himself to Ja's rising as an antithesis to Ja's, as if he's in the way of Ja's ascension. That's ridiculous. He's not in the way at all.
Listen. I'm gonna
I'm
jump
sorry,
right
man.
in
I can
here.
go on and on. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna jump right in here and say that Draymond has hitched his wagon to Steph Curry's goatness, right? To Klay Thompson's goatness, and to the goatness of the Golden State Warriors. And I'm here to say he's only valuable because of them and to them, because there's no market for Draymond Green. And let's be very clear, he's done in Golden State unless he takes a sizable pay cut. His career with Golden State is finished. They are millions and millions and millions of dollars over the salary cap at this point. They have the guys that they want to move forward with. And personally, I think that they're over Draymond's antics. This boil over was the icing on the cake in regards to what they've put up with from Draymond for all these years. And I don't care what you want to say. Whoever you thought Draymond was for those championships and for that team, those days are done. He's literally on the decline of whatever that was. And that was a triple single, right? That was a career triple single. Like he's maxed out as an elite glue guy, an elite connector, who has some ball handling and passing ability, and he's able to get a rebound, run a fast break, and get out of the way. It's that simple, and I don't see him doing that for anyone else. So Draymond's career is just about done, and I think this just solidified that.
Now, Mark, before you go, I do want to say this. I was impressed with the punch. I was.
It was a nice punch.
I'll say this. I was impressed with the punch. He approached Jordan, right? Jordan, get off me, man. You know what I mean? Get off me. You know, he did that. Pushed him away. Draymond must have knew that was coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he took the push, leveled himself, right? So that way it didn't really push it back.
Said it's
and that face that he got, he used that. He kicked that back foot up. Like he teed off on him. He kicked that back foot up. Once he kicked that back foot up, like a bull about to charge, you know what I mean? Kicked that back foot up and followed through to the point where he fell on him.
Yeah.
That was the set it off punch. That was the, hey, you see those guys over there at the bar? Hey man, I'm gonna go set it off. And y'all jump in after me, yeah? I'm gonna kick my back foot up and I'm gonna fall on him after I punch him. That way, you know what I mean? So I was impressed by the punch. I'm just saying, y'all. But go ahead, Mark.
Yeah. No, it was. There was a lot of talk about, well, this happens in locker rooms, and then a lot of current players, came out with, no, that's cat. This doesn't happen in locker room. That was shocking, because it's the talk about old school basketball, new school basketball. These new guys, they're not living like this, right? There may be some shoving and some jawing, but this isn't the bad boy Pistons. Like, they're not fighting in practices like this on the regular. Not in today's league. I highly doubt it. So that's why this was such a big deal. And then the fact that the video leaked, I think, was just like, man, it's just, everything looks worse now with cameras, man. So, but I do think they're going to get over it, kind of bringing it on home. You saw in the first game, I mean, these brothers just was in sync, like they didn't miss a beat. So
like
I think
Justin,
it's gonna be, it's hard to derail good playing, So I think the Dubs will be fine. But
they're galvanized. They're galvanized around. Sorry to cut you off, Mark.
Yeah.
They're galvanized around an elite leader.
Yes.
Right. Steph Curry is the guy that you want in this situation, being the head of your locker room.
Yes.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? If this was KD or even Bron, I don't think that this would be the same situation.
Yeah.
And that with all respect, with all disrespect, excuse me.
Yes.
To those guys.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, fellas, let's move this. Let's go. Let's leave the Warriors arena and let's get on I-80 East and let's head down to Sacramento, our hometown, and we're gonna talk a little bit about the Kings. what are y'all thinking about the Kings? We made some moves last year. There's a lot of promise. Quick story. I worked with the gentleman that used to be a beat writer for the Kings. Like, he used to follow the Kings. He's in IT at where I work. And so I pulled him, picked his brain. I said, man, what do you think about the Kings this year? He said he thinks it's the best team, best roster the Kings have had in the last 10 years. What do you guys think about the Kings and the potential for this year?
I like the coach.
Don't all speak
Don't
at
all
once.
speak at once.
No, I like the coaching change, Mike Brown. I know at least with Mike Brown, the guys are gonna play hard throughout the night. They're not gonna let anybody come into town and just run them over. Mike Brown just doesn't allow that. He talks too much for that. Like, he talks too much mess to his players for that, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I like that. I like the shooting guard rotation with Davion come off the bench. Horder started. Horder is like 6'7", 40% three-point shooter. He didn't have a lot of responsibility with Trae Young, but he's getting more responsibility now, and he's playing pretty good. I think he's got more to his bag than what we were able to see in Atlanta. Also, they got some other guys too, like Terrence Davis, I think.
Malik Monk
as well. And then also the Rook. The Rook looks good. He had his debut last night. He dropped 19, pretty much 20 points fresh out the bag. You know what I mean? You unzip this bag, the bag that is Keegan Murray, and you get 20 points just like that. I like that. So I think he's one of the more prepared rookies that were drafted this year. And De'Aaron Fox has to take his stats can no longer be empty if they're going to make a move.
Right.
You know what I mean? His stats have to actually mean something this year. Because we know he can put up 23, 25 a game. We know he can put up 7 and 9 assists. We know he can grab 5 rebounds. Excuse me. But the stats have to mean something. Sabonis as well. Sabonis has shown that he can at least give fits to elite bigs around the league. If he can match production or stop them from getting their normal production, that's what's necessary. So I think the fans are pretty into it too. Usually they are at the beginning of the season. They eventually kind of fall to the wayside by the 20th game. You know what I mean? Once they realize there's no hope. But overall, I think the Kings made some good moves. And I'm looking forward. I think they are in a competitive position for the play-in. I do.
I really love the fact that they made a choice last season. I thought that they were pretty clustered at the point guard position, and they had two really good options, two really good paths to go down. They already had De'Aaron Fox. They've already built with De'Aaron Fox, but they also had Halliburton, who had a completely different play style. And I just thought that based on both of them, kind of needing to be the ball handler, they had to make a choice. I like the fact that they did. I like the fact that because of that choice, they've built around De'Aaron Fox. They've got him some weapons to play with. And now it's just a matter of, like Lee said, whether or not he's ready to rise to his next phase. Is he going to be the guy who wants to be Ja Morant, or is he going to be De'Aaron Fox? Is he going to, become an all-star level player and help lead his team to a nice little playoff run? Now, all that being said, first round exit, if any entrance at all. Let's be very clear about that. But I think, like Lee said, they're in a good place to be competitive and make play for a playoff run for sure.
Yeah. Guys, listening to you guys and just the city's excitement about the season. I thought I was going to come on here and I was going to give a pod answer, right? I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm not impressed with the Kings. I think their over under on 40 games is under. I'm not impressed. I think these are like moves that impress us because we suffered for so long, right? So
It's been
get
so
the
bad,
moment.
yeah.
It's been so bad that's like anything is like seen as potential, But I'm just not feeling the Kings. I think, like Leak said, it's going to be a similar season by maybe game 20, game 25. We're going to know what the season is going to look like for the Kings, and we're going to be done with them. You know what I mean? I hope they prove me wrong. Please, Sacramento Kings, prove Marcus wrong. But if I had money to bet on the Kings to get in the play-in, I wouldn't do it. That's just me.
I would say it's a 3-man race between them, Portland, and the Lakers for that spot, to be honest with you. I think that's their competition, and they're going to have to win those games. When they play the Lakers, when they play Portland head up, they're going to have to win that series, in my opinion, in order for them to be a playing team.
Do you guys see anyone on the Kings roster that has potential NBA All-Star in your opinions for this year?
Well,
I think
before we get into that, you got to look at teams like like the Jazz. All right, they didn't make the playoffs. Well, they did make the playoffs last year, but they'll probably be back in the mix. They might be better than the Kings.
You said the Jazz?
The Jazz might be better than the Kings.
Wow.
They might be better than the Kings. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
The Rockets.
That's a hot take.
The Rockets. Well, it's not a take. I'm saying might. I'm not saying they're going to be.
Okay.
I'm saying they might be better than the Kings. The Rockets might be better than the Kings this year. So
wow.
So what I'm saying is the Kings. Black. You said playoff. You said playoff run. I'm thinking play-in run. They have a possibility at a play-in. It's the play-in.
I don't think the Rockets or the Jazz are even trying to make the playoffs, though. In my opinion,
they might not be.
They in the Victor Wembanyama sweepstakes.
Right.
In my opinion,
I understand that, but what I'm saying is the Kings have a possible play-in berth. It's possible, but it's not guaranteed. It's just the play-in. All right. These other teams, I'm pretty sure whether these teams want to win or not, those players are going to go in every night and put their all on the floor. And the Jazz just might be better than the Kings. That's all I'm saying.
They're 2-0 right now.
They are. 2 games in, they're leading the Western Conference. Don't hold me to that. You know what I mean? But,
don't bet the house on that.
Right, don't bet the house on it. But all I'm saying is the Kings they're the Kings, They're the Kings. Hence the title.
You're gonna upset some of our fans here, Leak.
I know.
I know. Well, fellas, let's move it on to the next topic here.
I'm weak, man.
Let's talk superstar draft. This is when we get to kind of this is going to be a fun part of the pod, right? But we're going
it's a little gimmick.
Yeah,
I mean?
We're going to pick 1, 2, 3. We're going to do it with a coin flip, and we're going to decide. We're going to pick players based on their potential to win or lead their team to the finals this year. Am I correct, Black?
Yep. Everybody's got their little top 10 list. Who's the top 10? Who's in your top 10 right now? I feel like that's cliche at this point. Let's get to the nitty gritty. It's a superstar driven league. And in my opinion, being a superstar means having the ability to lead your team to a championship. So let's really get into that. Who is that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Well, Leak got the coin to see who goes first?
So how are we doing this? I got the coin. Just tell me how we doing this.
All right. So we're gonna flip. We're gonna flip the coin to decide who goes first. And I guess that wouldn't make sense with 3 of us. So we might have to rock, paper, scissors. Let's just rock, paper, scissors.
Just do it. All right.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. On the count of 3. 1,
Everybody
2,
ready?
3. Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors.
There's
All
so
right,
much
so
allowed.
I got paper. So Mark's
out
out.
of
All
there.
right. Ready?
All right. Then Black's between me.
Yep.
Rock. Oh, hold on. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. Rock, paper, scissors. All right. So
All right,
So
so
you're
Leak won.
you're 1, I'm 2. Mark your 3, and it's a snake.
Cool.
Leak. So we'll just snake. You'll get the most picks.
Okay. All right. So I'm picking I'm a GM, essentially picking the number one player that I would choose to lead my franchise going forward to try to get me a chip. Is that correct?
No, Leak. You're choosing. So the player is on their current team. They're in their current situation.
Okay.
Which of the top 10 names of superstars are most likely to win a chip this year?
Oh yeah. So I'll go with the Greek Freak. That's very simple. Very easy.
All right. So for me, I think the most obvious next pick would have to be Steph Curry. Right?
What'd you say, Black?
I said it would have to be Steph.
It'd have to be who?
It would have to be Stephen Curry.
Hold on, Black. I just want to make sure. Say that one more time for me.
I'm picking Stephen Wardell Curry as the second pick to win a chip this year.
Thank you very much.
I see those picks, and I raise you a wild card. I'm going Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
A very hotly debated topic here.
Yeah, I'm going with him.
I think about that.
We're going to do it.
Next, I'm going to have to go with...
Mark, you had a lot of hate for Kawhi.
I did. I did, but he looked good the first couple games.
So next, I'm going to have to go with a guy that almost got it done last year, Jason Tatum, Mr. 40-piece himself.
That's not a bad one.
You guys kind of messing up my draft right now because I did not expect it to go this way. But I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Jokic. I think the Nuggets have an incredible chance to win the championship this year, and it'll all be because of him.
You know what, fellas? I'm going to go ahead and go Joel Embiid. I think
big fella.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with them. I'm gonna go with Joel.
All right. So now,
wait. Where are we at right now? What
one,
pick
two,
are we in?
3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, 6.
So this is the 7th pick right here.
7th pick.
Okay.
So now we're going with quote unquote trouble. We've entered the realm of troubled superstars or flawed stars. You know what I mean? You know, essentially these next several stars that we name will have some type of star defect, so to speak. You know what I mean? A blemish, if you will. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. A chink in the armor.
A chink in some type of mal-genetic structure to it at this point, right? So if we're talking that, I'm gonna go with the highest possible issued star, which would be Kevin Durant. That would be my next pick.
Ooh, I'm surprised you've gotten this far without mentioning this person. He came out like gangbusters last season. Completely caught everybody off guard with how well he was able to adapt to the league being so new. I'm gonna go with John Morant.
Yeah,
looking like a mixture between Iverson and MJ, right?
right.
That was an excellent pick, man. And like you said, Lee, we in troubled waters at this point.
That's right.
Fellas, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go Luka Doncic. I think I love the Woods piece there. They look nice, man. They played
I like that too.
Yeah, they played Memphis last night. That was a really good game. They blew them boys out. So I'm going to go with Luka Doncic.
They did blow him out. That was crazy, actually. Yeah. It was like 120 something to 90 something.
Right.
Yeah.
No, they did look good, you could tell Luka got up for that game. You know what I mean? All right, so now I'm gonna have to go with the guy that is Mr. Consistent. Mr. Get It Done, Mr. Strive for Greatness. All right. The one, the only LeBron Raymond James. He will be my next pick.
I think that's the last pick.
Yeah, that's number.
That's
That's
it.
it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I was really
So,
hoping we got through this without naming LeBron James.
Me, I kind of was too.
I was hoping.
We're not there yet. We're not quite there yet. Maybe next season we'll be there, but we ain't there yet.
Well, that was great. Fun segment, Black man. Appreciate you bringing that to the Hoopcast. Now we definitely want to segue into narratives to watch, predictions. So this is kind of a round robin. I'll let you guys just get loose on what are your projections for the upcoming season or the season we're in currently.
I'll jump out on the ledge. I kind of alluded to it. I think the Nuggets might be my dark horse pick to win the championship this year. I think I'm going to go out on a limb and say I'm looking at the Nuggets as a serious threat for the throne.
Okay.
Jamal Murray's back. Jokic looks like, he's ready to return to MVP form. They added Brown from the Nets, who's a defender / playmaker. Bones Highland looks like he's going to step into that role and be the shot creator that they didn't have last year. You got Aaron Gordon coming off the bench as a defender, kind of a utility knife. And you got Michael Porter Jr. ready to ascend and be that third option that they drafted him to be. So in my opinion, I think they have a great chance, great coach, and Mike Malone. Shout out to the Kings on that one. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that.
Yeah, that's
one that I got is the top two finalists for MVP will be the two draft picks from 2019, Ja Morant and Zion Williamson.
Ooh.
I'll have those as the two finalists for the MVP voting this year.
Man.
And I also think the Pelicans have just as much of a chance at winning the chip as the Nuggets.
Man.
I'll put that there as well.
I'm not mad.
So that's
they're this year's Memphis Grizzlies to me.
Yeah.
But the cool part is they are this year's Memphis as far as what they're going to do. However, they're really more tried and true than Memphis was at this point as well, because they got a guy who can average 27 on 60%. He just wasn't in the fold last season.
Mm-hmm.
He's back in it now. Brandon Ingram is better than he's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
CJ McCollum is still.
Yo, Lee, you were right about that one.
Yeah,
you were right about
Ingram,
that
one. Ingram looks like the guy, right?
Hey, listen, you're not always right, but you were right on that.
I'm not. That one, that one worked out. The jump shot, the jump shooting came around. That's really what it was.
Mm-hmm.
The jump shooting came around, but and the coach Willie Green, I feel like those guys would run through a wall for him, and that's a big part of it too. So yeah, I think I got the Pelicans ceiling as the Western Conference Finals, and I got their floor as a first round exit.
Man, I love that. I'm really hoping for Zion if he just stays healthy, y'all. I mean, this brother just gets buckets, man. I mean, you don't have to necessarily set sets for him, but he's going to get his shot, and there's going to be high percentage. So, yeah, I think that's a good one, Lee. For me, I don't know if this is on a huge limb, but I honestly think the Brooklyn Nets will self-destruct to biblical proportions. I think they're going to be kind of in the same 8 or play-in scenario they were last year. I think there's going to be turmoil throughout the season with them. It's basically going to hit the fan for the Brooklyn Nets, and it's going to be something to behold for sure. I just don't see. I see it already. I see the beginning stages of the threads kind of coming undone. Ben Simmons he's not that guy, y'all. He's just not mentally, physically, however you want to say it. And I think that there's going to be a lot of pressure put on him. Like, dude, you're the piece this year. Like, you're the thing that's going to get us over. And he's not going to be able to.
He's not built for that.
He's not built for that. Like, he will be, it's going to be something, man. So sit back and enjoy get your popcorn ready.
I would even take that a step further, Mark, and say that I think the league is moving away from super teams. I think that Adam Silver has made it a point to incentivize teams building from the ground up.
Yes.
I mean, you see teams basically making fire sales for picks now. Golden State is the model, and it's crazy. I'm slurping Golden State this episode, but in reality, like they are this era, right? Yeah. Like I think that they are a better representation of what basketball is supposed to look like than simply just signing a bunch of all-stars and rolling the ball out. You know what I'm saying? So I would take it a step further and say I think this is going to be the death of that with the Nets. But I would also add I'm interested to see how teams approach tanking considering what's on the cusp.
Let's talk about it. Yeah. we got the big fella. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his name. But
it's worse than Antetokounmpo, right?
Yes. But this gentleman had an incredible debut, an incredible game that was televised, had NBA players there talking about him. 7'5". I mean, they're calling him an alien at this point, and teams are going to be tanking for this prospect. What do you guys think about that? Like, give me your thoughts on him and just the tanking surrounding him. And his name, if someone can, too.
I think it's Victor Wembanyama.
There we go.
So if you guys can see the screen, this Adam Silver has literally put out a statement. He said he's calling this as he's calling Victor a once in a generational player. We all understand that that's who this guy is, and he's calling it a serious issue. All right, this has sparked hundreds of meetings. Okay, hundreds. All right, there's only 30 teams, but there's been hundreds of meetings between these 30 teams on this Victor guy. All right, Adam Silver is saying we put teams on notice. All right, we're going to be paying attention. We're going to be paying particular attention to this issue this year. All right, so look, it would disrupt our business. This guy Victor is going to disrupt the business model. All right. And even if you took two teams from the G League, they wouldn't be equipped to compete in the NBA. You know, it's something to watch for. A draft is, in principle, a good system, but I get it, especially when there's a sense of a once-in-a-generation player coming along, like we have this year. So he's acknowledging he didn't want to mention it by name, right? He didn't want to put a name on it, right? Right. It's all good, you know. Look, we know what's going on. Teams are smarter, they are creative, and they respond. We move, they move. So we're always looking to see whether there's a better system. So basically, Adam Silver is letting it be known that this is a serious issue, and
he's ready to take the lotto out.
He's gonna have his eye. He's got guys watching these guys that are tanking. You know what I mean? So, if I could put a notice out to all these teams, hey, do not do it. All right, you will be severely punished, and you will miss out on your opportunity. Don't do it. Yeah. But yes, if you guys want to speak on Victor and Scoot, you know, I think that'd be a good thing as well.
Well, I definitely think that we should, moving forward, we should have some type of like tank watch. Right, like we should have a championship, basically, like a bracket of teams that we think have the potential to land Scoot or Victor. I think that would be fun for the fans. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I like that.
Who's gonna win the championship? You know what I mean? Like that's where I'm at with it. But I think to speak on Victor real quickly. I was hearing some hype about him last season, right? And so I was doing some research. I was looking at some of his vids, and he looked nice. but it was a small sample size. I noticed that he wasn't playing a lot of minutes, so I was very. There was still question marks, but with them having the exhibitions against the G League this off season, I have to say, man, the hype is legit, man. I've never seen anybody play like this guy before. I've never seen a human even move like this before.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like LeBron said, this guy is an alien. And I think the upside is so high that if you're one of these bottom teams, man, you don't want to miss the opportunity to get this guy.
Mm-hmm.
He could completely change your entire franchise.
Yeah. I think he's almost worth the risk that Malik laid out. Like, he's worth it. Like, even if I were to be severely punished, or even if I get to the end of the road and I'm like, we were the worst team, and Silver puts it on his head, it's like, nope, you don't get him. I think it's worth it, man. This dude, I mean, it looked bizarre to see him, how he moved on the court. It didn't look right. It looked, you know what I mean? Like he was just too tall to be that fluid, you know, but I think he's going to make somebody, he's definitely going to put butts in the seats, if nothing else. I mean, look at this guy. Let's watch some of these highs. Look at this guy. I mean, for those of you listening on the pod, I mean,
why is he walking the ball up the court?
Yeah.
What?
This guy's 7'4", right? With shoes off.
Yes. 7'4".
He has an 8-foot wingspan.
Yeah.
Right.
And he moves like Steph.
Yeah. I mean, this guy was created in a lab somewhere.
Right.
And then he also has that star factor, right? That intangible, that smile, that personality that makes people want to tune in and watch that.
Oh yeah, elite media training. I mean, this he did very well,
dude. Come on, man. He for those that are listening, he just did a one dribble Hesi pull up from 3 and knocked it down.
Great rim defending. I mean,
yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the thing we haven't mentioned yet is his ability to block shots at an elite level.
Another thing is this guy knows how to play the game. Like he understands spacing.
Yeah.
He's not like some 7'4" doof just like trotting around the floor.
Right.
You know? This guy is actually putting himself in position to attack, which is scary.
Yeah.
Look how he's spacing the floor. Like what? And he's rising up into his shot. Most 7-footers shoot a set shot where they barely jump, you know, because they're already so close to the basket as far as height. This guy is rising up.
Oh my goodness.
Like who's gonna block a 7'4" guy rising up for a jump shot?
Dude, get that out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that I could say I would still be leery about is his ability to stay healthy.
Healthy.
I mean, we can say that about just about anybody in the league, right?
Yeah, one has to wonder, like you're right, Black. Yeah. Will the body begin to deteriorate or have some type of effects of this hyper growth? I mean,
look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, this kid is the real deal, man.
That was elite mid-post work right there, right? That was elite.
Yeah.
The head fakes, the jab.
And he gave the Jordan shrug after.
Yeah. The hang and double pump. I mean,
he got a lay package. Yeah, this guy, I've never seen anything like this before, man. Yeah. I've never seen anything like this before. And again, I think it would benefit us as a pod if we just kept an eye out for Adam Silver, right? Yeah. On who's doing what.
Yeah.
Look, at the least, he's the GOAT floor spreader off top, right? He's the GOAT stretch 5 off top, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He's coming into the league as the GOAT stretch 5.
Stretch, right.
Yo, you thought Chet Holmgren was a freak, right?
Right. Hey, he literally is making us forget about Chet, which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys think, based on the fact that we have a Chet, right? We had a Porzingis. Would you guys say that this is the new build for big? Is this like if you had a 7-foot son, would you have him play like a Victor Wembanyama?
Absolutely.
Or would you try to teach him, more post play?
Nope. Got to what it say? Dribble pass.
Dribble, shoot, pass. Yeah,
Dribble,
yeah,
shoot,
yeah.
pass. No more post work.
Right.
You could develop that at year 10.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We get
That's
you
on the
an
back
elite
end, yeah.
big coach, right?
Yeah, that's on the
You
back
see
end.
you to
Yeah.
Hakeem Olajuwon later on.
We'll
But-
have KG come to your camp, right?
Go ahead, though, Lee. What you gonna say?
Yeah, once you get a max, you can cash out Hakeem, right, for a post bag. I mean, look, these guys develop post bags just off of like ones. When they play ones with each other, you know what I mean? They got all right, 2 dribble max, 3 dribble
Starting the
max.
post.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
exactly. Right. Like imagine Victor cooking his whole roster in practice. In a ones tournament. You know what I mean? Yeah, I like Scoot too.
Yeah.
I know we're about to cut it short, but I think Scoot is a great prospect as well. A strong off guard,
Yeah.
can attack, can find a shot, create a shot. So I like him too. Yeah, man. But yeah, I'm with that. We can go ahead and keep our eyes on that.
Yeah. Do you guys think Scoot has Anthony Edwards potential, or where would you? Yeah,
I think that's a great comp, Mark.
Mm.
And he might have a stronger body than Anthony Edwards just because he got that G League working with.
Yeah.
He's pretty much a professional. So
He's a little shorter, I think.
Okay.
I want to say I'm not. Don't quote me on that. I think he's a little shorter than Anthony, but I mean, extremely athletic, very stout. He's like a power back, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
he is shorter. Black. He's about 6'2".
Okay.
He's about 6'2". Yeah. So he's like a power back or a power guard, as you would say. Yeah.
Right.
Well, fellas, I don't know about y'all, but man, I had a great time on the first ep of the No Hesi Hoopcast. Hopefully you as the listener or as the watcher on YouTube feels the same way. And we want to say that these will be also put on your podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We go in there so you can listen to us at the gym. You listen to us on the, in the car, wherever you see fit. So definitely tap in with us, fellas. Any final thoughts? Black, we're gonna start with you.
Man, I'm just excited to be back. I'm excited to be talking hoop with you guys, man. I know that as the season goes on, it's gonna get very contentious when it comes to these takes. So I just hope you guys are prepared for that.
Yes, sir, Lee.
Oh man, Ja for MVP, Dame for the scoring title. Those are my last words, man. Everything else will fall into place, man. But those two are staples that I'm standing on. I'll put the house on those two. All right, let's get it.
All right, we're gonna hold you to those picks, y'all. So
absolutely.
All right, y'all. We out. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said, leave us a 5-star review of whatever platform you're listening, and also like and subscribe on YouTube. We appreciate you, and we out. We're gonna holler at y'all on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.